Hi, today we are going to discuss about the cloud security project that we have been uh, done using a WordPress application which has been deployed in AWS, Amazon Web Service. So here's our teammates, Adiban, Kevin, and myself, Sai Hariparthiban. So we three have been worked together by implementing the WordPress in the AWS and the tools used and the testing part and the findings and challenges that we have been faced. So further, Kevin will explain about why we used AWS. Yeah, Kevin, you could lead up.
Okay, Kevin. Can
Thank
you see
you.
the screen, Kevin? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
you can.
okay. We have chosen AWS because of three main reasons. The first one is the pricing. That is, Amazon gets the pays as you go. So it means you pay only for the time you get the instance up and running. So it's not that expensive. The second one is the global coverage and reliability. That is like the Amazon Web Services have 14 different zones and 16 different geographical locations that gives reliability to the application. And the third one is the scalability that gives auto scaling and low balancing that gives performance to the application and helps to manage a big amount of data. For application development, we have created an instance in AWS with Windows Server 2022. We have mounted one server using Apache with an SQL database and with a WordPress application and PHP. We have used no IP for to give in the domain to the application and to give in to get the public IP with a domain. For the SSL implementation, we have used OpenSSL to create a self um, signed certificate with the next commands. And after that, we just modify the HTTP configuration file to map everything to the certificate itself. And after that, we just restart the Apache server, and that's it.
Yeah, Kevin. So, yeah, for the next implementation, we just gone through several tools. We have researched some frameworks and benchmarkings, like what are the things that we have to do while ensuring the security of the deployed application. So
Mhm.
we referred the AWS like well architecture framework, and from that we found that our main focus should be on separation of duties, traceability, and logging and monitoring, defense in depth, and incident response. These are the things we concentrated, and we use tools like Datadog, CloudWatch, and all the tools that listed here. So we use these tools for deploying securely. And yeah, let's see the methodology, and let me just explain what the tools that are installed. So let me share the screen. Yeah, this is the application we have deployed. Just I'm just going to show you some, sorry. Okay, so these are the instances we are having, and this is the instance we are talking about. So for this instance, we have created, and this is a Windows based machine, and we have taken the remote of this machine, and you can see the machine is deployed with WordPress application. And the first thing what we did is, as Kevin told, we have created the SSL. So this is the SSL. We just we implemented with Open SSL, and after creating this certificate, we need to map the SSL with this file. This is the mapping that contains all the uh, SSL configurations, and afterwards we just started the product with HTTPS. Let's just check our application here. Okay, so this is the application, I guess. Yeah, it's taking some time. Okay, so you can see this is our application now, and it is completely secure that we have added in trusted certificate. And yeah, this is our application now. The first requirement is the SSL, and we have deployed that. And apart from that, what we are having is there are several tools that are already in AWS, and we made use of that. The first one is the firewall. So we created AWS firewall, and with that we can have some of the predefined rule sets. You can see these are the predefined rules that just ensures that product is running in PHP. Then these are the rules that it will have, and these are custom rules that we just created for blocking the SQL, and we just sticking as a sort of for example, this rule one, it is for we created for checking the script. If the query string contains script, then it is going to block. Yeah, these are all the uh, uh, rules that we implemented with our firewall. So that's the first thing. And as well, we have created the firewall in here also. So this firewall defender, we have created some rules in there, so this is as well working. So we don't need to worry about firewall network security. So that's the first thing we created. And second thing is, by Amazon, we have AWS Shield. uh, So AWS Shield, it is going to give some protection over DOS attack, and it is by default enabled. So we don't need to, we just need to enable these things. And we used CloudWatch to monitor the resources. So this is the feature. And inside, you can see that we have created an alarm, and we have already set up the CPU utilization. It is already monitoring the data packets that are coming inside, and network packets that are going outside the network. So yeah, if it is reaches a threshold limit, then it is going to send the email to our notification to our registered mail ID. So we have to make sure that everything is going fine. So we created an alarm with this one. Okay, so yeah, right now the limit has been set to 90, and this is showing the graph of the CPU utilization. And this is going to monitor the network packets. And other than that, we already deployed some other monitoring techniques like Datadog. You see, this Datadog agent has been installed in here. So you can see the, I'm sorry, you can see the Datadog is running actively. It is connected to agent. If you want, you can just check this API key. It is the API key. We are just going to use this. And these logs, these are the loggings that is going to monitor the data inside the system. And yeah, so other than Datadog, we have implemented some security monitoring features as well, like security hub. Health security hub, it is going to ensure that our cloud platform is right to go with the benchmarking. CIS AWS Foundation benchmark, so it has been enabled. And yeah, it is going to check for any findings like if it get any alert, then it is going to show us the alert. So right now we have found some of the findings, like what are the things that are missed, and it is just going to tell you these are the things that you need to take care. So it is also monitoring our system. So for monitoring, we have already set up a Datadog, Security Hub, CloudWatch. These are the applications. And yeah, afterwards, for ensuring that our web application is not affected with any vulnerabilities, we install some vulnerability assessment tools like JAP and Nexus. Nexus has been installed, and it's quite running here. We already have, and we need to sign in. Okay, just let me sign in here. So I have already scanned my machine, and we have found some of the vulnerabilities here. So this has to be done periodically. So we installed the Nexus, and this scan report is going to tell you like what are the issues we are currently facing. So these are the some issues that we found, and we have added that in the report as well. And yeah, other than that, we have installed Kali Linux, and this Kali Linux by default it will have some of the most important tools like JAP, and JAP is used for assessing the mainly the web application, like it will find the web application based vulnerabilities. And other than that, for scanning the networks and for scanning all the uh, other things, we are just going to use the default tools like GoBuster. So in that, we have found some of the hidden files in there, and nmap scan is going to tell us what all the ports open, and yeah, all the critical findings are conveyed in the report itself. And yeah, these are the vulnerability assessing tools that we have installed. Okay, so the security testing is conducted by all these tools that I have told you, like CloudWatch and the Datadog is are going to monitor the application, and this Nexus, JAP, GoBuster, Nmap are going to do vulnerability analysis. And we have also enabled load balancer in AWS. Now, for checking those things, we are going to we did vulnerable performance testing with JMeter. So I'm just going to open JMeter here. Yeah, so using this JMeter, we are just going to add one thread group, and yeah, it's a HTTP sampler, and we can add some listener. So by this, we just added some threads, and we just use this tool to make multiple API calls. And using this, we can just configure our application with this one. And afterwards, we can just do the scalability testing with this. And this has been installed, and yeah, the performance testing is conducted with JMeter. And afterwards, burp suite, yeah, we used burp suite for making some penetration testing, especially with the web application, like for ensuring that we can tamper any data, and we can just make if we can penetrate towards the firewall or something like that. For that, we used burp burp suite. And yeah, so burp suite for that. And wiresock is going to just monitor the incoming and outgoing traffic, and we just need to ensure that all the files are securely we have implemented SSL, so it is going to be encrypted. So we just need to take care of these things with the Wiresock. So the security testing consists of these tools basically. And yeah, next slide will be yeah, Sai will take over from here.
Yeah, so these are nothing but the findings and the risk ratings that we have found out through our implementation of the WordPress. So while doing an Nmap scan, we just found out the RDP and the HTTP ports were just open. So the open RDP port that can be exploited to the attackers to gain the unauthorized access to the system, while the HTTP on the other hand. That can expose the application for further attacks like SQL injection and the cross-site scripting and other web-based attacks. And further running the Nexus vulnerability scan, uh, the SMB port was not allowing us for the message signing. The server message block was not enforcing the message, so that allowed for an unauthenticated and remote-based attacks to conduct the man-in-the-middle attacks against the server. So this could intercept and manipulate the SMB traffic between the clients and the servers that could lead up to the unauthorized access and for theft of any sensitive data that's been available there. And while doing uh, uh, the GoBuster directory scan, the directories and the files that were being easily accessible without any authentication. So that could lead up to the access of the sensitive files that's been available in the machine. Whereas even running on further an Nexus vulnerability scan, we just found out that the SSL cipher was just supporting, and the guard duty scan finding. So that all lead up to the open port scan for the EC2 instance. And the challenges that we faced in executing this was nothing but the SSL setup of the application. We just did it from the scratch and we deployed it in the AWS. So the hosting was not able to run in HTTP, so we just used the self-signed SSS, and we wanted that SSL to just run in HTTP, but the product was successful, but it was not unable to run in HTTPS since the port access, even after the port access was enabled from the firewall. And the AWS volume, initially we just created it without encryption, and further the EC2 instance was created. So now it was unable for us to modify the volume and make it encrypted, as AWS will not allow the volume to just get encrypted further after its creation. And since we just try to investigate the threats that been alerted from AWS Security Hub, uh, and it just got an error saying that we didn't have the complete authorization. I mean, the authorization was not permitted since we didn't have the IAM privilege and the necessary permissions were not granted to us. So these are nothing but the findings and the challenges that we faced in deploying the web application that we created. And thank you.